Hi and welcome to my new video and my channel. And if you are into watch related content, please subscribe. So thank you. In my hands I have the GShock GBA-800. And as the title of the video says, I'm gonna run through the detailed tutorial on this watch. So you can jump to the steps of the video using the description. I'm gonna start off this detailed how-to tutorial with the screen indicators. Basically, screen indicators are everything you can see on the display, including showing your time and date. I'm referring to the digital displays over here. So what there is to show, well, there's the Bluetooth sign, and that's displayed while there's a Bluetooth connection with the watch and phone. The graphics area, that's this part over here, and operation is linked with the operation in each mode. There's the step indicators. TGT can stand for the target time function when it's enabled. LT displayed while the auto light is enabled. Letter P is displayed when the time is in the PM region. You have the lap that's displayed while a lap time is displayed. Also referring to a stopwatch, there is the SPL. Of course, there's the alarm, hourly time signal, DST, record, and that's displayed while the watch is in the recall mode. You have the steps displayed while the step count is being displayed, and the HND is displayed while the watch hand are shifted to easier reading. So to get a better glimpse of that, here is the image for all of the screen indicators. Now there's the graphics display area. Basically that is this. That's the upper part of the upper circular digital display, and the graphics display area operation is linked with the operation in each watch mode. The graphics display area is blank in the recall mode and in alarm mode. In the timekeeping mode, while a step count is displayed, the graphics display area are shown in progress towards your daily step target. The daily step target can be set individually for your personal preferences. For other types of display, it changes while the count of the current time is in seconds. So, cycling between timekeeping mode digital display content. That is done by pressing the upper right button, that is the reset button, and you can cycle your lower digital display to the different showings of data. So this over here is representing currently the month, day, seconds, and day of the week written in English. Pressing it once, we get to the hour, minute, seconds, and day of the week indicated over here. Pressing it again, you get the step count, and currently 0 because this is the new watch and I haven't been moving it around. But in this mode, you have your number of steps and your graphics area of your steps over here. Pressing it once again, you get to the seconds display, and basically it only shows the seconds counting. Pressing it once again, we get back to the beginning, and that is the month, day, second, and day of the week. Shuffling through the modes of the watch is done like this. From the standard timekeeping mode, simply press mode button to cycle between the modes. So pressing it once, you have your stopwatch, you have a recall mode, you have your countdown timer mode, you have your world time mode, and alarm mode. Pressing it again, and you heard that higher pitch of the sound gets us back to the standard timekeeping mode. Here we have the GShock connected application. So let's get through the application. That is the agreeing to all of the terms and conditions. This is me installing the application for the first time. So you have to scroll through the entire text and agree to all. So I have to turn on the Bluetooth. There it is. Then I have to find my watch. That's the GBA-800. Now the watch says hold for 2 seconds the lower right button. And there it is. Let's see if we get that. Okay, there it is. So register the watch to the application. And let's see how it goes. So you have your time zone connected or your time zone adjusted automatically, and that is basically every time that will happen when you connect your watch with your phone. And now the application will run us through your specifications and what you want. So this is my units. So but I want to use the imperial metrics. This is my height and my weight. So I'm gonna go with OK. And here I can fill up my details. So your height, weight, birthday, sex, and target steps. And once you set that, you will send your information to your watch. To view the activity data, now this is purely information for you to see. I'm gonna leave this off, and that is the activity map display, and that's well, it says everything you want to know. Uses your smartphone location information to display the location of your activity in the app. So let's get through the app. First in a row is the guide, and basically over here you see everything you want to know about your watch, and very informative and very instructive and easy to understand all of these buttons and which button does what. So I'm gonna get back to the step tracker. Over here you have your activity log, or this watch is a brand new watch. I don't know, maybe it has a couple of hundred of steps when I bought the watch and brought it back home. And this watch will, as you can see, all of the activity will be shown in your calendar over here, and your today's activity. And you can update your watch to your activities when you want to transfer that activity to a phone, and vice versa. Over here is your countdown timer, so you can basically set your countdown timer to each and every workout, so it's easier to use once your watch is on your wrist. Over here is the stopwatch, so this is the log data for the stopwatch, and using the log data you can basically track your exercises. And you can set it up over here, target time total, and once you set that you can send that information to your watch. Here you have your world time mode, and you can set your world time mode to the different location in the world. Let's say currently I don't know where it's set, but let's say I want to set it to Rio, no, not Rio, let's say Tokyo. I want to send the information to have my secondary time zone as the Tokyo time, and once I find it I will simply set the city to a watch. It takes a bit, but not that much, but it will eventually send your information to watch, and I believe you won't use it that often. The utility data, over here you have your 5 alarms and the hourly time signal. So you can, it's much easier over here to set those alarms and the hourly time signal than using it manually or setting it manually on your phone. So over here you can set your alarms. Let's go. Oh, here it is, and you can set that value of your alarm, and that is done for basically each and every alarm. You can scroll through the alarms. Let's see, I want to get it to 12 o'clock, and once I'm done, I'll simply set the setting to the watch. I'm turn it off, go back. The gear button over here is probably the most useful one. You can click your watch, and you have your tutorial, activity map, phone finder, setting, operation check of auto time adjustment function, and you can basically tell your watch when to synchronize your time with your phone. You have your profile settings, that is the basically back to beginning and setting your height, width, and your weight, and all those other details about yourself. You have your watch display settings. You can shift that between 12 or 24-hour time format, operation sound, set the time, time adjustment, light setting. You can set your watch turn on the auto light on or off, and your illumination duration. Adjusting the home positions, maybe the cool feature that you want to use. So basically you can adjust your watch hands, and that is used when your digital time does not correspond to your analog time. So using this option over here, you can synchronize hands. So basically pressing this button over here or here will eventually move your hands to the correct position. So my watch is in the shows the correct time, and I'm not gonna do that. Summertime setting, you can also set that. So basically those are the basics of this application, and you will run through most of them once you get the watch and you can fiddle with all of those details. How does a phone finder work on the GBA-800? If your watch is connected to your phone, press any button besides the light button to terminate that connection. So once you've done that, simply press the mode button and hold it until you hear the beep. And what that does is simply indicate that you're back to the standard timekeeping mode. Once you're done with that, press and hold the start button over here, that's the lower right button, for about 5 seconds, and the watch should send signal to a phone, and the phone should start ringing. And there it is, it says find. And basically we are now waiting for the phone to ring, and there it is, it's ringing. To stop it, press any button on the watch. Those will be the basics of a phone finder. How to delete the pairing registration from your phone and your watch. Basically, now I have the phone connected to my watch. To terminate that connection, I can use the app or the watch. Over here, if you scroll to the bottom, I can simply tap this disconnect button, and the watch will disconnect from the phone. And on the watch, press any button besides the illumination button, and the watch will disconnect from a phone. So right now, let's get back to the application. The connection has been terminated. I go to the gear button, Casio GBA-800, scroll to the bottom and delete pairing registration. And now we have the blank app, so no watch is currently registered. That is how to delete the pairing information or registration from the phone. Shifting the watch hands is a pretty cool feature. Hand shift moves the hands out of the way for easy viewing of the display information. How to do that? Well, while holding the L button, that's the illumination button, simply press the mode button. So press this and then this, and the hands will move out of the way, so you have a better readout to your digital displays. After some time, it should automatically get back to its standard timekeeping or showing the time and date, but to interrupt that, simply press any button. And I've pressed the mode button and enter the modes, but you get the principle. The hands out of the way are now back to its position of showing your time. The pedometer mode. The pedometer mode is basically let's say a selling point of this watch, besides its Bluetooth connection and using it as your fitness help. The pedometer mode lets you keep track of your daily steps. So what are the basics of the pedometer mode? From the standard timekeeping mode, in this mode, press the reset button until keep pressing the reset button until you get your digital display indicated over here, and that is, it can show your daily steps and your step graph. So now the step count graph shows the number of steps up to 1000 you have taken each hour. This lets you easily check your walking pace over the past 10 or 11 hours. The step count graph is not displayed while the step count is 0. So that's it. And the graph contents are normally updated at the top of each hour. And here is the representation of that graph. Now you can check your daily progress to your daily step target. For that is used this upper digital display, and it will basically go around. So currently it's flashing at 0 steps, but the increments are shown over here. And basically that is what you get from your watch on the first go, let's say on the first look. But you can specify a daily step target, and that is done. The daily goal can be set within a range of 1000 to 50,000 in units of 1000 steps. How to set that? Well, press and hold the upper left button, that's the adjust button, for about 2 seconds, and we heard the beep, and this causes the current daily step target to flash. So currently we see it is set to 10,000 steps. You can increase or decrease that value by pressing the reset or start button. Again, as I said, it's in the increments of 1000. So from 1000 all the way to 50,000. Once you're done, simply press the adjust button and your settings are implemented. There's also an option for you to reset your today's step count. First step is to enter the standard timekeeping mode, and we are in the standard timekeeping mode, just that it happens that this lower display shows the currently steps. So that is just one of the modes of your standard timekeeping mode, showing the digital display can show. Again, maybe I'm a little confusing, but we are in the process of resetting today's step count. So the watch is in the standard timekeeping mode, and to reset that value, hold down the upper and the lower, so reset and start button for about 2 seconds, and it will cause the clear to flash and briefly and then disappear, and this resets the step count to 0. The stopwatch mode on the GBA-800. The stopwatch measures elapsed time in 1/100th of a second units for the first hour, and in 1 second units after that for up to 24 hours. In addition to normal elapsed time measurement, the stopwatch also lets you take split time and lap time readings. You can also set a target time and monitor your progress in attaining it. You can configure settings so the watch alerts you when it a beeper and or display indicator when you attain your target. First, let's get to the stopwatch mode. From the standard timekeeping mode, simply press the mode button once, and we are in the stopwatch mode. How to measure the elapsed time? So let's start from the elapsed time. We are in the stopwatch mode, so pressing the lower right button, the start button, we start the stopwatch. Pressing the same button, we stop the stopwatch, resume the same button again, and the same button over here to finish. So basically we have stopped our measurement. Elapsed time is shown in, as I've said previously, in 1/100th of a second units for the first hour of the measurement. After the first hour, elapsed time is shown in 1 second units. So in the first hour, you have your minutes, you have your seconds, you have your 1/100th of a second just beneath this hour hand, and you have your stopwatch number over here. So currently it's saying it's F, so finished, and that is the basics of a stopwatch measuring the elapsed time. Oh, and I forgot to say how to reset. Well, that's done simply by pressing the reset button over here. Over here, this is the stopwatch number. How to measure the split time? So in the stopwatch mode, and we are in the stopwatch mode, press the adjust button to display the split or the lap time. So let's get to the SPL, indicated that we are in the split time measurement, and that is indicated over here. I believe you can see it. So let's get started, pressing the start button to start the stopwatch. Now each press of the reset button causes the elapsed time up to that point, so the split time, to be indicated for 8 seconds. So let's go, pressing the reset button, and basically we are splitting the time, and the current split time is being shown for 8 seconds, and let's wait for it to continue. There it is. Pressing the start button again will stop stopwatch. Now elapsed time is shown in 1/100th of a second units for the first hour of the measurement. After the first hour, elapsed time is shown in 1 second increments. Again, those would be the basics. To reset the value, simply press the reset button and we are back to the beginning. Let me show you how to measure the lap times. First of all, we are in the stopwatch mode, don't forget that. Press the adjust button to shuffle between the split time and the lap time. So currently my stopwatch over here, this digital subdial is showing the lap, so we are measuring the lap. So let's get started by pressing the start button. Now each press of the reset button causes the elapsed time of the section, so the lap time, to be shown for 8 seconds. So press the reset button. Again, elapsed time is shown in 1/100th of a second units for the first hour for the measurement. After the first hour, elapsed time is shown in 1 second units. So pressing the start button again, we finish it, so stop it, and press the reset button to get it back to the beginning. Using the target time alarm, after you configure one or more target times, the watch will beep and display an alert to let you know when the elapsed time reaches your target time. If you want to try running 5 kilometers in 30 minutes, for example, you could set the target times shown and monitor your pace for each kilometer. Let's say your target time 1 is 6 minutes and number 2 is 20 minutes and 22 and so on. How to specify your target times? You can specify up to 10 target times, each of which can be up to 24 hours in 1 second units. If you want to specify multiple target times, specify the smallest time as the target 1 and successive times for the once the times are growing up in value, that will be target time 2, target time 3, and etc. Let's get to the procedure of specifying your target time. So press and hold the adjust button for about 2 seconds, and you have it indicated over here. Now you can shuffle between target time on or off by pressing the start button. I'm gonna turn it on, and once you're done, press the mode button and it will shuffle to the target time 01 and the value of that target time indicated over here. Let's say I want to shuffle to target time, I don't know, let's leave it at 1, but you get the principle by pressing the reset or the start button. You can shuffle between that target times. I'm gonna get it back to target time number 1. Once you're done with that, press the mode button once and the shuffling moves to the hour value. To change that value, press reset or start button. So pressing one of those two buttons will shuffle the values 1 to 24 hours. Press the mode button once again. We enter the shuffling or move the shuffling to the minutes value. Procedure is exactly the same, so pressing the reset or start button, you can shuffle between the value of minutes. Pressing the mode button once again, we get shuffling to the seconds, and procedure is exactly the same. Pressing the reset or start button will increase or decrease the value of your settings. Once you're done, simply press the adjust button and you have implemented all of those settings for target time 1. And next time you are using your stopwatch, when you press start, the stopwatch will start counting or measuring time, and your TGT over here will flash, and once the target time is reached, it will get you the notification that your target time is reached. So once the watch beeps, simply press the restart button to stop it and reset button to reset that value. But you have your target time indicated over here, so since we turned it off. Again, back to the basics and how to turn it off. Simply press and hold the upper adjust button and TGT is turned on. To turn it off, simply press the start button and once adjust button, and we are back to the stopwatch mode, but our target time is turned off. How to clear the target time? Now hold down the upper. So remember that we are in the stopwatch mode. Pressing and holding the adjust button for 2 seconds until you hear the beep and enter the settings of your target time. So currently it's flashing on. Now press and hold the upper or reset and start button at the same time for about 5 seconds until all stops flashing on the display. So let's go. Pressing and holding. All. You heard the beep. And this restores the target time settings to their initial factory defaults. Once you're done, simply press the adjust button once, and we are back to the stopwatch mode. Pressing the mode button and holding it for 2 seconds gets us back to the standard timekeeping mode. Those will be the basics of a stopwatch mode on this watch. How to see your times you have measured with using your stopwatch mode, so your lapse time, lap times, and so on. From the standard timekeeping mode, which we are currently in, press the mode button once, twice, and we enter the recall mode. Recall mode is just after the stopwatch mode. Over here you have your recall number indicated over here, and you can shuffle through those recalls by pressing and holding the adjust button, and your recall number data should flash for a second, and it will toggle to that recall, specified recall. So pressing the adjust button and holding it, hear the beep, we are to recall number 3. Pressing and holding it again, back to recall number 2. How to cycle to display the measurement value you want? That's done by pressing the reset or start button. So currently I am on the recall number 2, and by pressing these reset or start button, I'm shuffling between the recall values. There's the possibility for you to shuffle between the lap time and split time by pressing the adjust button. So over here you can see that I'm shuffling between the lap and the split time by pressing the adjust button. How to delete the particular record on your recall mode? So currently we are in the recall number 2, and here is our value of our times. So once over there we find the record number, and we did. The next step would be to press and hold the reset and start button at the same time for 2 seconds, and the CLR should appear on the display. So here we go, there it is, and our recall number was just deleted. Now there is the option for you to also delete all record data, and that is done by simply entering the recall mode and then pressing and holding the reset or start button for about 5 seconds this time, and the CLR all should appear, and there it is. It was pretty high pitch of that sound, indicated that we have deleted all of our stopwatch measurements. Those would be the basics of a recall mode on this watch. Configuring and using your dual time option on this watch, or dual time settings. Let's get first through the dual time mode. From the standard timekeeping mode, which I'm currently in, press the mode button once, twice, 3 times, 4 times, and we enter the dual time mode. The dual time lets you set the current time in another time zone in addition to your current location time. So once I was using the application ability of this watch, I set my dual time to the Tokyo time. But I can set that manually, and I'm gonna do that by pressing and holding the upper left button, that is the adjust button, for about 2 seconds, and this causes the hours to flash. Now I can use reset or start button to increase or decrease the value of hours. Once again, I'm mentioning that this is much easier to set and operate by using your application or your phone. Once I've set my hours, I'm gonna press the mode button, and the flashing gets us to the minutes. The procedure is exactly the same as for hours, so pressing the reset or start button, you can increase or decrease the value of minutes. Once you're done, simply press the adjust button and you have set your dual time. There's an option for you to swap the home city time and your dual time. Enter the dual time mode, in which we are currently in, and hold down the upper button for about 2 seconds, and this will swap the home city time and the dual time mode. I'm not gonna do that, but you get the principle. So to swap your home city time and dual time, simply enter the dual time mode, press and hold the reset button for about 2 seconds, and the procedure is done. And those will be the basics of a dual time mode. As I said previously, this mode is much easier to operate using the application. The countdown timer on the GBA-800. First of all, let's enter the countdown timer. Now we are in the standard timekeeping mode. Press the mode button once, twice, 3 times, and we enter the countdown timer mode. So on this watch, it's a bit specific. So you have your first 5 seconds counting pretty loudly and visibly. So let's get started. This is the typical operation of using your countdown timer. Press the start button. You have it over here. And the time continues to count down. Pressing the same button stops it, and the same button to resume that value. How to set the timer start time? The start time can be set in 1 second units up to 60 minutes. So hold down the, remember that we are in the countdown timer mode. So pressing and holding the adjust button for about 2 seconds until you hear the beep. And currently we are setting the number of repeats. To set that number, press reset or the start button, and you can shuffle between number of repeats. So let's see what is the maximum number of repeats I can do. So it's 20. You can do 20 repeats on this watch. Once you have set the number of repeats you want, simply press the mode button, and this causes the minutes digit to flash. How to change that number? Well, it's done simply by pressing this button over here and this button over here to set it to 1, to display that what you want. Pressing the mode button once again, we enter the setting of minutes value, and I can use again the reset or start button to increase or decrease that value. I'm gonna leave it at 10. Press the mode button once again. I'm currently setting my seconds value. So I can press the reset or start button to set that time. So procedure is pretty simple. So reset or start button to increase the decrease the value in all of the settings that I previously ran through. Once you're done, simply press the the adjust button once, and you have implemented all of those settings. Using the alarm and hourly time signal on this watch, from the standard timekeeping mode, press the mode button once, twice, 3 times, 4 times, 5 times, and we enter the alarm mode. You can shuffle through your alarms by pressing the start button, so you have your 5 alarms and the hourly time signal. So using this button, we'll shuffle alarms 1 through 5 and the hourly time signal. Again, I'm mentioning that the alarm option and the hourly time signal is much easier to use with your application and much easier to handle. But nevertheless, let's get through the operation of setting the your alarm. Let's say alarm number 1. Press and hold the adjust button until you hear the beep, and currently we are in the procedure of setting the value of our alarm number 1. To increase or decrease the value of hours, simply press the reset or start button. So by pressing reset or start button, you're actually increasing or decreasing the value of hours of your alarm. Once you have set your hour value, simply press the mode button and the flashing will continue to the minutes value. Procedure is exactly the same as for the hours, so pressing the reset or start button will increase or decrease the value of your hours when regarding the minutes value. Once you're done, simply press the adjust button and you have set your alarm number 1 exactly on midnight and it's turned on. To turn it off, simply press the adjust button, I believe. Sorry, the reset button. To deactivate the alarm, simply press the reset button. So using the reset button, I'm shuffling alarm number 1 between on or off. So let's say I want to shuffle the alarm number 4 between on or off. First, I'm going to shuffle through the alarm number 4 by pressing the start button, and then by pressing the reset button, I'm going to turn the alarm number 4 all on or off. How to this is the alarm. Let's say I'm going to turn it on. This is the indication that my alarm number 4 is turned on. It's these two array of lines. So you have 3 lines over here and 3 lines over here when the alarm is turned on. When I turn it off, it disappears. Let's shuffle to the hourly time signal by pressing the start button, and that is the hourly time signal. And when I turn it on and I press the reset button, this indication turns over here. So that indicates that your hourly time signal is turned on. To turn it off, press the reset button, and we are back to the beginning. So quick basics: pressing the start button, I'm shuffling through the alarms and hourly time signal, turning it on or off by pressing the reset button, setting the alarm by pressing the adjust button, and which I've done previously. Those will be the basics of the alarm mode, and as I've said previously, it's much easier to do this using your application. Setting the time and date manually on the GBA-800 is done like this. From the standard timekeeping mode, press and hold the adjust button until you see the set, and when set disappears or stops flashing, you are in the process of setting your time and date and other settings manually. You see that the hands are out of the way, so you can have easier access to your digital subdials. Now, first in a row of settings is setting your daily step target to increase or decrease that value, and I have gone through this previously, but you can set it in increments of 1,000, from 1,000 to 50,000. So currently it's set to 10,000 steps, but to increase or decrease that value, you can press the reset or start button to shuffle in increments of 1,000. Once you're done, simply press the mode button once and you enter the seconds setting. Now, you cannot set the exact value of seconds, but what you can do is reset that value simply by pressing the start button, and the seconds over here will restart to 0. Next up, pressing the mode button once, we shuffle the flashing to the hour value. Currently you see 1 is flashing, so it's currently 1 o'clock. And to increase or decrease that value, simply press reset or start button to shuffle the value of hours. Press the mode button once again, and the flashing moves us to the minutes value. Now procedure is exactly the same as setting the hour value. Pressing reset or start button will increase or decrease the value of minutes. Once you're done, press the mode button once, and we enter the setting the 24-hour, 12-hour time format. To shuffle between those two time formats, press the start button, and it will shuffle between 12 and 24-hour time format. I'm gonna leave it at 24-hour time format. Once I'm done, press the mode button once, and we move to the setting the year value. So currently the year is correct, so it's 2021, but I can shuffle between up and down by pressing the reset or start button. Once I'm done, I'm gonna press the mode button, and the shuffling moves us to the month setting. So currently it is January, it's showing 1, but I can increase or decrease that value by pressing the reset or start button. Once I've set my month value, I'm gonna press the mode button, and the shuffling or flashing moves us to the the day value. Today is the 26th, but I can increase or decrease that value manually by pressing the reset or start button. I'm gonna leave it at 26th. Next press of the mode button gets me to the operation tone, whether it's enabled or disabled. Currently it's set to on, but I can shuffle it between on or off by pressing the start button over here. I'm gonna leave it at on. Pressing the mode button once again, we enter the illumination duration setting. So currently it's flashing 1, which indicates that when I turn on the illumination, when I press the light button, the illumination will stay on for 1.5 seconds. By pressing the start button, I'm moving the or shuffling the illumination duration to 3, indicating that the light will stay on for 3 seconds when I press the illumination button. I'm gonna leave it at 1 by pressing the start button once again. Once I'm done, I'm gonna press the mode button once, and that would be the final press of the mode button, which basically cycles us to the beginning of setting the watch settings overall, and we are back to beginning and setting our daily step target. Presumably we have run through all of the settings of the watch, and we want to implement all of our settings. That's done simply pressing the adjust button once, and we have implemented all of those settings we have previously set. Configuring the auto light setting. Now, each time when the illumination button is held for about 3 seconds in the timekeeping mode, auto light will toggle between enabled or disabled. What is the auto light? Well, if your watch is on your wrist, when you flick your wrist to see what's the time, it will automatically turn on the illumination. If you do not disable it manually, auto light remains enabled for approximately 6 hours. After that, it becomes disabled automatically. Auto light is a pretty cool feature, but you can also set it using your application. Hand alignment adjustment. A strong magnetism or impact can cause the time indicated by the analog hands to become different from the time on the digital display. If this happens, you have to adjust your hand alignment. Hand alignment adjustment is much easier to do using your application, but I'm going to show you how to do it manually. So first of all, you have to be in your standard timekeeping mode, and I'm currently in. So my time is in the my watch is in the standard timekeeping mode. Once there, simply press and hold the adjust button for about 5 seconds until 12 o'clock flashes on the display, and that's the lower digital display. And there it is. It's indicated hand setting over here, and it's 12 o'clock on my digital subdial over here. If the hour hand and minute hand are not aligned at 12 o'clock exactly, I'm gonna use a reset or start button to move them. So pressing one of those two buttons will move my hands accordingly. And what I want to do over here or achieve is my hands hour and minute hand to be exactly at 12 o'clock and synchronize with my digital time over here, which is 12 o'clock. Once you have aligned your watch hands, simply press the adjust button once, and my hands are back at the are synchronized back to the original position. So the digital subdial is corresponding to the analog time displayed over here. That was another detailed how-to tutorial video on my channel. This time it was the GBA-800. Thank you very much for watching, and if you are into watch-related content, please subscribe to my channel. So thank you.